For an ignition of those 5 first stage engines at the T-minus 8.9 second mark. We've passed T-minus 30, T-minus 25 seconds and counting, and Apollo 13 is go. T-minus 20 seconds, T-minus 20 seconds and counting. 17, guidance release. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence has started. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit and we have liftoff at 2:13. The Saturn V building up to 7.6 million pounds of thrust, and it has cleared the tower.
This is mission control. Here we go.
It's a beauty. It's another beauty.
No, I think it's a dynamic off flight. The trajectory looks good. We show 1/2 mile in altitude at this time. 13 Houston, go at 30 seconds. Roll completed at 150. Roger that. Stand by for level 1 Bravo. Mark, 1 Bravo. Houston in. Altitude 1.2 miles.
I was shaking here, but what a beautiful flight. Watching her for a long way. That cloud cover isn't interfering yet.
No, just almost
getting into it.
There it is. 13 go at 1. We show the cabin relieving. 13, roger. And at 1 minute 10 seconds, we show an altitude of 4.1 nautical miles. Downrange 1 mile. And we're still seeing it quite well through that haze. All sources continue to report where go. The trajectory on our plot boards is right on the pre-planned line.
We've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like it to stir up your cryo tanks.
Now, it should have been a normal procedure went terribly wrong. A spark ignited in the Teflon insulation on the wiring. This slowly burnt up until it raised the pressure in the oxygen tank to such an extent that it blew out a rupture disk. The pressurized oxygen flooded Sector 4 of the service module, causing the Mylar and Kapton insulation to ignite for a brief moment before the following happened.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Yes, Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B bus undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it. Okay, 13, we've got lots and lots of people working on this. We'll get you some dope as soon as we have it, and you'll be the first one to know.
The astronauts quickly moved to the lunar module, or LEM, and used it as a sort of lifeboat for the rest of their journey. Their new mission required them to loop around the moon and then perform a trans-Earth insertion burn, which would return them quicker to Earth. While on the dark side of the moon, they had no contact with mission control whatsoever. The trans-Earth injection had to work absolutely perfectly, or they would go on a highly elliptical orbit, missing the Earth. Then, by the next orbit, they'd get so close to the moon, its gravity would alter their course, causing them to basically plummet straight down into the atmosphere. And if they were to re-enter at this angle and that speed, their heat shield would not be able to survive, and they would burn up over the Caribbean. Thankfully, the maneuver worked. And just before re-entering the atmosphere, they undocked the service module, and they were finally able to see the full extent of the damage that the explosion caused.
And there's one whole side of that thing missing. Is that right? right by the high gate antenna. The whole panel is blown out, almost from the base to the engine. Copy that. Yeah, it looks like it got to the SPS cell too, Houston. It's really a mess.
Now there was only one more obstacle before the Apollo 13 astronauts could get home: re-entry. Re-entry is one of the most dangerous times for a spacecraft because it cannot fail. The heat shield has to work perfectly or else it'll burn up in the atmosphere, and Mission Control was worried that the explosion might have damaged the heat shield.
Onboard display now shows a velocity of 33,383 feet per second.
We'll cover for you guys, and if Jack's got any phone numbers he wants us to call, I pass them down.
Apollo 13 should have entered the Earth's atmosphere at this time. We have about 1 minute to go now from time of end blackout. Moments ago we had a report from the retro fire officer that based on his data, a predicted set of coordinates for splash of 21 degrees, 39 minutes south, 165 degrees, 22 minutes west. We will attempt to contact Apollo 13 through one of the Orion aircraft. Continuing to monitor this Apollo Control, Houston. Apollo 13 should be out of blackout at this time. We're standing by for any reports of Orion acquisition. The Orion, a C-135 type aircraft. We've had a report that Orion 4 aircraft has acquisition of signal.
Odyssey Houston standing by, over.
Okay, no.
Okay, we read you, Jack.
That was Jim Lovell responding with the OK Joe. Standing by for confirmation of main chutes.
Odyssey Houston, we show you on the mains. It really looks great.
An extremely loud applause here in Mission Control.
Visual, very good. Five.
An extremely loud applause as Apollo 13 on main chutes comes through loud and clear on the television display here.
Hey, we come on, Roger. Visual control, recovery out of visual bearing 1, 0, over. 500 feet. So M1 on station. It is on station. Photo 1's on station. Photo 1 observes splash down at this time. On take up parity. Roger.
Another cheer in the control room as we had splashdown.